Welcome to WWE Sphere, your home for all things wrestling. Please subscribe and click the bell button for more update if you are new to my channel. Monday Night Raw has witnessed countless shocking moments throughout its storied history, but few have left the WWE Universe as stunned and divided as the events that unfolded when Nia Jax launched a vicious, calculated attack on the EST, Bianca Belair. What began as a seemingly routine episode of sports entertainment's flagship program quickly transformed into a night that would fundamentally alter the landscape of WWE's women's division. The atmosphere in the arena was electric, as it always is when Raw comes to town. The WWE Universe had settled into their seats, expecting another night of high-octane action, compelling storylines, and the unpredictable drama that has made Monday Night Raw appointment television for decades. Little did they know that they were about to witness one of the most shocking and controversial moments in recent WWE history. Bianca Belair, the undisputed powerhouse of WWE's women's division, had been riding a wave of momentum that seemed unstoppable. Known for her incredible athleticism, infectious charisma, and that iconic hair whip that has become synonymous with her character, Belair had established herself as one of the most dominant forces in professional wrestling. Her journey to the top had been marked by incredible victories, championship reigns, and moments that defined what it meant to be the EST of WWE. The tension between Nia Jax and Bianca Belair had been simmering beneath the surface for weeks, creating an undercurrent of anticipation that had the WWE Universe on edge. Wrestling fans, known for their ability to read between the lines and pick up on subtle storytelling cues, sensed that something significant was brewing between these two powerhouses of the women's division. Nia Jax, the self-proclaimed, irresistible force, had been making waves with her aggressive in-ring style and her willingness to push the boundaries of what was acceptable in WWE competition. Her reputation for being unpredictable and dangerous had already been well established, but recent weeks had seen an escalation in her behavior that suggested something bigger was on the horizon. The backstage reports had been buzzing with rumors of creative tensions, character development discussions, and the kind of behind-the-scenes maneuvering that often precedes major storyline developments in WWE. Industry insiders had been whispering about potential feuds, championship implications, and the kind of character-defining moments that separate good wrestlers from legendary ones. What made this particular situation so compelling was the contrast between the two competitors. Bianca Belair represented everything that was positive about modern WWE: athletic excellence, inspirational storytelling, and the kind of role model that the company loved to showcase. Nia Jax, on the other hand, embodied a more aggressive, confrontational approach that challenged the traditional boundaries of sports entertainment. When Nia Jax finally made her move, it wasn't the typical wrestling confrontation that fans had come to expect. This wasn't a scheduled match, a backstage altercation, or even a segment that had been building up throughout the evening. Instead, it was a sudden, brutal, and completely unexpected assault that caught everyone, including Bianca Belair, completely off guard. The attack began with a level of intensity that immediately signaled to the WWE Universe that this was something different. Nia Jax didn't waste time with lengthy promos or elaborate setups. She struck with the precision of a predator who had been waiting for the perfect moment to pounce, and when that moment arrived, she seized it with devastating effectiveness. The physical confrontation was unlike anything fans had seen from either competitor in recent memory. Nia Jax unleashed a barrage of attacks that seemed to come from a place of genuine aggression, each move calculated to inflict maximum damage both physically and psychologically. The way she targeted Bianca Belair wasn't just about winning a fight, it was about making a statement that would reverberate throughout the entire WWE landscape. What made the attack even more shocking was the timing and location. Raw had been progressing relatively normally, with the usual mix of matches, segments, and storyline developments that fans expected. Then, without warning, Nia Jax appeared and transformed the entire atmosphere of the evening. The sudden shift from entertainment to what felt like genuine conflict created a visceral reaction from the live audience that was immediately palpable. The WWE Universe's reaction was instantaneous and intense. The typical cheers and boos that characterize wrestling crowds were replaced by a stunned silence, followed by a mixture of shock, outrage, and disbelief. This wasn't the choreographed violence that defines professional wrestling, this felt different, more personal, and infinitely more dangerous. But the physical attack, as devastating as it was, turned out to be only the beginning. What truly sent shockwaves through the WWE Universe was the bombshell revelation that Nia Jax dropped during and after the assault. This wasn't just about settling a score or advancing a storyline, there was something deeper, more personal, and infinitely more controversial at play. The bombshell itself was delivered with the kind of calculated precision that suggested this had been planned for some time. Nia Jax didn't just attack Bianca Belair's body, she attacked her character, her reputation, and everything that, the EST, represented to the WWE Universe. The words that accompanied the physical assault were chosen specifically to inflict maximum damage to Belair's standing within the company and among the fans. What made this revelation so shocking was how it recontextualized everything that fans thought they knew about both competitors. Suddenly, previous interactions, backstage segments, and even seemingly innocent social media posts took on new meaning. The WWE Universe found themselves questioning their assumptions about these wrestlers and wondering what other secrets might be lurking beneath the surface. The timing of the bombshell was particularly significant. By delivering this revelation during the attack, Nia Jax ensured that it would be associated with the violence and aggression of the moment. This wasn't a calm, reasoned explanation, it was a passionate, aggressive declaration that felt raw and unfiltered in a way that professional wrestling rarely achieves. The content of the bombshell itself touched on themes that resonated far beyond the world of sports entertainment. It addressed issues of authenticity, competition, respect, and the price of success in a way that felt genuine and relatable to anyone who has ever faced professional challenges or personal conflicts. The immediate aftermath of Nia Jax's attack and bombshell revelation was unlike anything WWE had experienced in recent memory. The live audience's reaction was so intense and sustained that it forced the show's producers to make real-time adjustments to the evening's programming. What had been planned as a typical Raw episode suddenly became something much more significant and unpredictable. Backstage, the reaction was equally dramatic. Fellow wrestlers, many of whom had worked closely with both Nia Jax and Bianca Belair, found themselves processing not just the physical attack but the implications of the bombshell revelation. Some rushed to support Belair, while others seemed to understand or even sympathize with Jax's motivations. The division among the roster created additional layers of drama that extended far beyond the original confrontation. WWE officials were forced to respond quickly to a situation that had clearly escalated beyond their initial expectations. The company's response balanced the need to address the serious nature of the attack while also recognizing the storytelling potential of such a dramatic moment. Their handling of the situation would become a case study in crisis management within the unique context of sports entertainment. Social media exploded with reactions from fans around the world. The WWE Universe took to Twitter, Instagram, and other platforms to express their shock, outrage, support, and analysis of what they had just witnessed. The hashtags related to the incident began trending globally within hours, demonstrating the far-reaching impact of the evening's events. Media outlets beyond the traditional wrestling press began picking up the story, recognizing that this was something that transcended typical sports entertainment coverage. The mainstream attention brought new scrutiny to both wrestlers and forced conversations about the nature of professional wrestling, the line between entertainment and reality, and the responsibilities of performers in such a unique industry. To truly understand the significance of Nia Jax's attack on Bianca Belair, it's essential to examine the psychological motivations that drove such a dramatic and potentially career-defining moment. This wasn't simply a case of one wrestler attacking another. It was a complex psychological drama that revealed deep-seated issues about competition, recognition, and the pressures of performing at the highest level of sports entertainment. Nia Jax's motivation appeared to stem from a combination of professional frustration and personal grievances that had been building over time. As a performer who had always operated in the shadow of more celebrated wrestlers, she seemed to reach a breaking point where traditional competition wasn't enough. The attack and bombshell revelation represented a fundamental shift in her approach to dealing with these frustrations. The choice to target Bianca Belair specifically was significant from a psychological perspective. Belair represented everything that Jax felt had been denied to her: widespread fan support, creative opportunities, championship success, and the kind of positive recognition that defines a successful WWE career. By attacking not just Belair's body but her reputation and character, Jax was attempting to tear down the very foundations of her opponent's success. The timing and method of the attack also revealed important psychological insights. Rather than seeking a fair fight or a competitive match, Jax chose to strike when Belair was most vulnerable. This suggested a level of calculated malice that went beyond typical wrestling rivalries and entered territory that felt genuinely personal and vindictive. The psychological impact on Bianca Belair was equally significant. Being attacked in such a public and humiliating way challenged not just her physical well-being but her entire identity as a performer and person. The Bombshell revelation added an additional layer of psychological warfare that forced her to defend not just her body but her reputation and everything she had worked to build in her career. The attack and its aftermath had far-reaching implications that extended well beyond the immediate participants. WWE's women's division, which had been experiencing a period of growth and increased prominence, suddenly found itself at the center of a controversy that would reshape storylines, character development, and fan expectations for months to come. The incident highlighted the competitive nature of professional wrestling and the intense pressure that performers face to maintain their positions within the company hierarchy. It demonstrated how personal and professional frustrations can boil over into dramatic confrontations that blur the lines between entertainment and reality. For other women on the WWE roster, the attack served as both a warning and an opportunity. It showed that the competition was more intense and potentially more dangerous than they might have previously realized, while also creating new storyline possibilities and character development opportunities that could benefit their own careers. The WWE Universe's reaction to the incident revealed important insights about fan expectations and the changing nature of wrestling entertainment. The intensity of the response suggested that audiences were hungry for more authentic, emotionally resonant storylines that went beyond traditional wrestling formulas. The incident also raised questions about WWE's responsibility to protect its performers while still delivering the kind of compelling entertainment that fans demanded. The company found itself walking a difficult line between allowing creative freedom and ensuring the safety and well-being of its talent. The impact of Nia Jax's attack and Bombshell revelation extended far beyond the women's division, creating ripple effects that were felt throughout the entire WWE organization. Other wrestlers began to question their own positions within the company, wondering if they too were harboring frustrations that could lead to similar confrontations. Creative teams were forced to reassess their storytelling approaches, recognizing that the WWE Universe was responding positively to more authentic, emotionally charged content. The incident became a template for how personal conflicts could be transformed into compelling television that resonated with audiences on a deeper level. Management had to address the implications of allowing such intense personal conflicts to play out on television. While the dramatic impact was undeniable, there were concerns about setting precedents that could lead to similar incidents in the future. The company needed to find ways to harness the energy and authenticity of such moments while maintaining appropriate boundaries. The incident also affected WWE's relationships with sponsors, media partners, and other stakeholders who were forced to consider how such intense content aligned with their own brand values and audience expectations. The mainstream attention brought both opportunities and challenges that the company had to navigate carefully. As the dust settled from the immediate aftermath of the attack and Bombshell revelation, it became clear that the long-term consequences would be significant and lasting. Both Nia Jax and Bianca Belair found their careers fundamentally altered by the events of that night, with new opportunities and challenges emerging from the controversy. For Nia Jax, the attack represented a potential turning point that could either revitalize her career or damage it irreparably. The WWE Universe's reaction would ultimately determine whether her actions were seen as justified frustration or unacceptable aggression. The Bombshell revelation added another layer of complexity that would require careful handling to avoid permanent damage to her reputation. Bianca Belair faced the challenge of responding to both the physical attack and the character assassination that accompanied it. Her reaction would be crucial in determining whether she could maintain her position as one of WWE's top stars or whether the incident would permanently damage her standing with fans and the company. The incident also set new standards for what audiences expected from WWE programming. The intense reaction suggested that fans were hungry for more authentic, emotionally resonant content that went beyond traditional wrestling formulas. This created both opportunities and pressures for future storylines and character development. The attack and its aftermath represented a significant moment in the evolution of sports entertainment, demonstrating how personal conflicts and authentic emotions could be channeled into compelling television that resonated with audiences on a deeper level than traditional wrestling storylines. The incident challenged conventional wisdom about how wrestling storylines should be developed and presented, suggesting that audiences were ready for more complex, psychologically nuanced content that reflected real-world conflicts and motivations. This opened new possibilities for character development and storytelling that could benefit the entire industry. The mainstream attention generated by the incident also highlighted the growing cultural relevance of professional wrestling and its potential to address serious themes and issues in ways that other forms of entertainment could not. This represented both an opportunity and a responsibility for WWE and other wrestling organizations. As WWE moved forward from the immediate aftermath of Nia Jax's attack on Bianca Belair, the landscape of sports entertainment had been fundamentally altered. The incident had raised new questions about the nature of competition, the responsibilities of performers, and the expectations of audiences that would continue to influence the industry for years to come. The success or failure of how WWE handled the long-term implications of the incident would serve as a case study for how wrestling organizations could navigate similar situations in the future. The lessons learned would influence creative decisions, talent management strategies, and audience engagement approaches across the industry. The incident also highlighted the importance of authentic storytelling in an era when audiences were increasingly sophisticated and demanding. The WWE Universe's reaction demonstrated that fans were hungry for content that felt real and emotionally honest, even within the context of sports entertainment. Nia Jax's brutal attack on Bianca Belair and the bombshell revelation that accompanied it represented far more than a simple wrestling storyline. It was a defining moment that revealed deep truths about competition, frustration, and the human cost of success in the high-pressure world of professional wrestling. The incident served as a reminder that behind the choreographed spectacle of sports entertainment are real people with real emotions, ambitions, and frustrations. When these human elements are allowed to surface authentically, they can create moments of genuine drama that resonate with audiences in ways that traditional wrestling storylines cannot. The long-term impact of this incident will likely be felt for years to come, influencing how WWE approaches storytelling, character development, and talent management. It demonstrated that the most compelling wrestling content emerges when the line between entertainment and reality becomes blurred, creating authentic moments that capture the imagination of the WWE Universe. As the wrestling world continues to evolve, the lessons learned from this shocking night on Monday Night Raw will serve as a guide for how the industry can create more meaningful, emotionally resonant content that satisfies audiences' growing appetite for authenticity and depth in their entertainment. The WWE Universe will long remember the night when Nia Jax's attack on Bianca Belair changed everything, serving as a powerful reminder that in the world of professional wrestling, the most memorable moments often come from the most unexpected places, delivered by performers who are willing to push boundaries and challenge expectations in their pursuit of creating truly unforgettable entertainment. Thanks for watching WWE Sphere. Please like, share, comment and subscribe after watching the video.